Coming up today, we see new highs once again in the stock market. NVIDIA making a great breakout and breaking past all-time highs. We seen a breakout yesterday in crypto stocks like XRP and Ethereum hitting $3,600. And later on, we're going to be talking about a XRP ETF that is coming out that can make you guys a lot of money. We do have our monthly expirations for option plays, and honestly, man, gonna bring a lot of volatility into the market and a lot more to talk about the overall stock market. But man, the SPY, man, we're so close to that 630 level we've been watching all week. And honestly, can we break past it today? We might have a big green candle and or big red candle. If we get a green candle, we might be able to break past that 630. Might see a little bounce off of it and then maybe retest it again and then break past it and or just see it go downwards. With it all being said, man, please have your patience with the market today and for the rest of the week and for next week, because honestly, man, we're going to be showing you guys some data later on that can potentially bring the market down. And honestly, man, I'm very cautious, so I'm buying plays that are like 3 to 4 weeks out just to be a little bit more safe. But we did indeed see some new highs in the NASDAQ yesterday, and honestly, man, it looked pretty good. But right now we did break down a little bit more, so honestly, we might be able to retest those highs, break past it, and or like I said before, we might have a little bit of a sell-off. I'm not bearish or bullish, but I'm here to tell you guys to be cautious. If you want to up your trading knowledge and do it for cheap, I got cheap courses down below to help you guys become profitable with trading. First link in the description below. Check it out if you guys want. So the data yesterday did pretty well, not even gonna lie, brought the markets up overall. Initial jobless claims came in lower than expected, and the other data looked pretty good as well. But today, Friday, July 18th, we have housing starts, building permits, and consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment might move the market a little bit. It is going to be 30 minutes after market open, so keep that in mind while making your plays if you guys do trade before that 30-minute threshold. But we see some crazy movement with XRP recently. We broke past that $200 billion market cap. XRP also made a breakout today and moving pretty good. I'm personally watching that 3.5 level once again. If we can break above that, we might look a little bit more bullish and maybe break past that 3.7, maybe even getting to $4 finally. But with that all being said, man, have your patience with this. XRP is the third biggest crypto under Ethereum and Bitcoin, of course. But we also got some insane news. We see how IBIT and ETHA has been moving. They're basically ETFs. IBIT moves with Bitcoin and ETHA moves with Ethereum, of course. It's set to launch today, July 18th. It's a 2x leverage on daily XRP price movement, future-based structure for regulation compliance. It is also managed by ProShares. This is a good one if you're into crypto and want to take advantage of the movements, and especially the movements that we have with XRP right now. We've seen some legislations get passed. Everybody has been talking about Crypto Week. We've seen that the Genius Act has gotten passed and the Clarity Act passed, and that's just regulatory oversight passed with 294 to 134. The Genius Act, and we will be talking more about the acts later, but that just basically regulates the stable coins overall. This is getting a lot of hype to crypto sector. As we see more things pass related to crypto, we can see crypto sentiment go up higher and potentially see bigger moves on these coins and honestly more money getting pushed into it. We also see Trump is also going to open up US retirement accounts to crypto, means more money going into that market as well. This might bring the crypto market up, crypto sentiment up, and bring some more money into the crypto market overall. We also see a new Rivian headquarters, an East Coast headquarters coming to Atlanta, Georgia. This might bring Rivian up overall, so I do recommend watching the stock based on this, but this is just some side news I wanted to add. We did indeed see some highs with the SPY overall. I'm personally watching that 630 level, but be careful for a little bit of a pullback. Maybe people taking profits and stuff like that, but it is looking pretty good to touch that 630, maybe even break past that, make some new highs on the SPY overall. Past that 630, look at 631.5, 632, 635, and that 640 level. That is kind of insane numbers to watch, but honestly, that's mainly for next week. If we do start going to the downside, look at 628.5, 627.5, 626.5, and all the way down to that 625 level for the SPY. Just have your times, have your patience. I show this chart a lot, but I just wanted to remind you guys to take your time while trading and don't get FOMO or greedy right now, because this is kind of just data from the previous months of July. And honestly, we see a bit of a pullback coming in. But with that being said, man, towards the end of the month, we get back to all-time highs and breaking past highs potentially. So keep that in your mind. That's why I say trade 2 to 3 weeks out, so that if you guys do get like a call option here and it keeps on falling, you know, you can potentially, sell at the end of the month and still make some gains and not really take a losing trade. And like I explained in like a previous video, this is just a little example that I found quickly. But let's say if you got FOMO and you bought a call option here, you're definitely not going to make money the next day. But then if you hold it and you got it 2 to 3 weeks out, you're not going to lose that much money on this day. And then this day, honestly, like the second day after buying the contract, you can potentially sell your trade and still make profits. So literally, man, if you just scope out, the bottoms for a call option, you can potentially still make some decent money. Like if you would have bought a call option here, you'd have made some money the next day. And then, I mean, even if you scope out bottoms like this, you could still make money the next day. So honestly, just scope out bottoms. If you guys do want call options, don't get FOMO and don't get FOMO when it's at the top. Honestly, that's how you lose money easily. But I mean, you still have potential of making money even in like a downward like trend, basically. Nvidia, of course, is in a downward trend, but I was just using Nvidia as an example. Nvidia holds up pretty strong, especially with that news that we got previously, with Jerome getting fired. Nvidia didn't really fall down that much, but if you would have got that play as well, you would have made a decent amount of money. But tomorrow is July OPEX, basically operation expirations for the month. And over $3 trillion of stocks are set to expire tomorrow or today. Sorry. So we will see a lot of volume in the market. We may also see more puts, as we can see on this chart right here. The market is at a point where people are really bullish. And in the past, we see minor pullbacks, but not big pullbacks or anything to be worried about. But with the data that I showed before, it might seem a little bad. So like I said before, just take your time while trading. Be willing to adjust as you go. You guys can always make money on put options as well, even in an upward momentum market, basically. Just buy at the highs, buy a put option, and you should be able to make some money with that too. I want to talk about a stock that's on traders' radars right now, and it kind of spiked up a decent amount. But honestly, it might be oversaturated right now, so I probably wouldn't really buy it right now. With that being said, man, it was trading at like 50 cents, and then now it's at the 176, hit that 220 level. So if you would have had this at 50 cents, you would have made a decent amount of money, depending on how many shares you had. But with that being said, man, this is a stock that's on people's radars. And if you can see it go up even more, you might see it touch that $3 level. You never know. But I just want to have open on your radar overall. So let's talk about earnings a little bit. So Netflix basically beat their earnings. Q2 2025 earnings summaries. So revenue was $11.08 billion, beat expectations. EPS was 7.19. That also beat. Strong drivers. Hits shows like Squid Game Season 3, of course, everybody knows about that one. A weaker US dollar boosting international sales. We've seen that in Pepsi as well. Growth in the $8 a month ad supported plan. Honestly, man, don't be down bad, man. Buy the ad free, man. Come on. Outlook raised, full year revenue forecast increased. Stock reaction, so we were down 1% after hours despite strong numbers due to investors' caution over future growth. So the stock did dip 1% after hours, like I just said, beat both revenue and earnings expectations in summary. So why? Investors are kind of cautious on this earnings. FX boost isn't sustainable. A large part of the revenue beat came from a weaker US dollar, which helped overseas sales. Investors worry this is a temporary tailwind and not a long-term growth. Subscriber growth is unclear. Netflix no longer reports exact subscriber numbers, as we know since last earnings. I think they announced it. Some investors feel left in the dark and are wondering if growth is really strong or just stable. Valuation concerns. Netflix stock is already trading at near all-time highs. Investors want proof of long-term momentum, especially from ads and live content, before bidding it up further. The ad-supported plan is growing fast, but revenue from it is still relatively small. But I mean, if you think about it, you're still paying for the ad subscription, plus you're watching ads. So I mean, it might bring some more growth overall, but honestly, man, I feel like they should make the ad portion free if they really want to promote like revenue. But investors want to see actual profits from it before getting too excited. Some of the positive things are the company is clearly profitable with high margins. Live sports and ads could drive the next wave of growth, and raised guidance shows internal confidence. With that all being said, man, you can see if Netflix does break below that 1244 level, and if we do, we can probably see it a little bit more bearish overall, but have Netflix on your radar while trading today. We already covered this earnings, but TSM did beat expectations, bringing the stock up even more, and I do recommend watching the stock today, see if we can make a break upwards and or fill the gaps downwards. Just have your patience with TSM. This one made me a lot of money because I personally traded NVIDIA with this one, and this one brought NVIDIA and AMD up a decent amount, and AMD is pushing decent numbers as well. We're staying above that 160 level, and I want to see how it reacts, honestly. I was thinking about buying a play off this one, but it doesn't really look that safe. Next day trades basically. So honestly, I'm being a little cautious with AMD, but AMD has been moving a decent amount, and honestly, seemed like it's been moving better than NVIDIA. in the short term. But with that being said, man, just keep AMD and Nvidia, TSM, and Netflix on your radar while trading. So Congress passed the first U.S. stablecoin bill. The U.S. passed the Genius Act, the first major federal law to regulate stablecoins, crypto tied to the dollar, basically. It requires issuers to hold real dollar reserves to make monthly disclosures. Two other crypto bills also passed. One clarifies who regulates crypto, SEC versus SFTC. Another one bans a government issued digital dollar, CBDC. The bill now goes to Trump, who is expected to sign it. Crypto investors welcomed the move as a big win for the regulation clarity. So we can personally watch, stocks up. You got Coin, Robinhood, MSTR, ETHA, IBIT, all of these ETFs that move with crypto overall, and you can watch crypto to the upside with this. So we kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday, but basically we've seen recently that Coca-Cola may switch to cane sugar, with Trump urging people to switch to it, basically trying to make US basically healthy again. But Trump says Coca-Cola will use cane sugar instead of corn syrup in the US. Experts warn it will cost the company over $1 billion per year, which is insane. The shift could hurt US corn farmers and major syrup producers. Logistics and import tariffs may make the move complicated as well. Speaking of Coca-Cola, let's talk about Pepsi's earnings. Comments down below if you guys like Coca-Cola or Pepsi more. I personally like Coke Zero, not even gonna lie, but I do like Pepsi's flavors that they have. They have a lot of zero flavors as well. But honestly, man, let me know how you guys feel. I'm kind of in the middle with this one. But Pepsi just reported stronger than expected earnings for quarter two. Revenue came in at $22.73 billion and up around 1% from last year and slightly above expectations. Adjusted earnings per share hit $2.12, beating forecast despite a small decline year over year. The boost came mainly from international sales and a weaker US dollar helping overseas profits. So just like we've seen with Netflix, the weaker US dollar is making these earnings look pretty good. However, in North America, snack and drink volumes dropped, though higher prices helped offset that basically. The company also took $1.86 billion impairment charge, which weighed on overall profit. Looking ahead, PepsiCo improved its full year guidance, now expecting a smaller earnings drop, just 1.5%. Investors like what they saw. The stock jumped 6 to 7% after that report. So you can see Pepsi, man, to the upside with this. Maybe we could fill some gaps back downwards like we see sometimes with earnings, and or you can see it continue to the upside. Coca-Cola also had like a tiny little jump up from this. You can probably see if it holds that $70 level. If we can, maybe we can have some bullish momentum to that 71.8 to that 72.6. So keep Coca-Cola on your radar as well. So something else that everybody is already talking about, basically, Uber, Lucid, and Neuro team up for a new robotaxi service. Uber is partnering with Lucid and Neuro to launch a premium robotaxi service using Lucid's electric SUVs and Neuro's advanced self-driving tech. With that being said, I'm not even gonna lie, Waymo is already doing better than robotaxi. They have more launches, more experience, and honestly, man, what do you guys think would happen? Do you guys think that Lucid and Waymo is basically going to take over, or is robotaxi going to jump ahead? With that being said, they plan to deploy at least 20,000 autonomous vehicles over the next 6 years. The service is expected to start in major U.S. cities by late 2026. Uber is investing $300 million in the partnership, gaining stakes and board influence. This sets Uber up to compete directly with Waymo and Tesla, the autonomous ride-hailing space. They're trying to get some of that market share as well. With all being said, we didn't really see a big shift yet with Uber, and Uber has been falling a decent amount. But honestly, man, what I've been noticing that Uber kind of moves the opposite with Tesla. So if Tesla is moving up, we see Uber moving down, and now we see Tesla moving up when Uber was moving up around this time. So honestly, man, just watch Tesla and Uber both at the same time. See Tesla moving down, go look at Uber. Maybe Uber's moving up. But I mean, sometimes it like matches, sometimes it doesn't. So we've seen the US imposes 93.5% tariff on US battery material. The US announced a 93.5% anti-dumping tariff on a key battery material imported from China. The goal is to protect US manufacturers from unfair pricing. This affects industries like solar energy and electric vehicles. US solar and battery companies react positively to the move. But with that all being said, man, let's get to some supports and resistance. But let's start off with some stocks to watch. First one on my radar is going to be TSM. I'm going to see maybe we're looking a little bullish or bearish in the short term. So maybe we're going to be going to the downside. So look at that 243.5, 242, and that 240 level flat to the downside. But if we do start breaking up even more, look at that 245.5, 247.5, 248.5, and then that 249, past that 249, look at that 250. Break above that, we might look a little bit more bullish, but this is the one that I'm watching personally. Another one, of course, is going to be NVIDIA. We broke past all-time highs, and honestly, man, we're already touching it right now. So I'm going to be watching if we could break past those highs. So just watch 174, 174.5, and then all the way up to that 175 level. If you could break above that, look at that 176.5, and then all the way up to that 180 level for NVIDIA. NVIDIA is moving fast, and honestly, I think we could hit that 180 before we get a pullback. Of course, I'm watching AMD as well. AMD is moving good with the chip stocks as well. I'm going to be watching if it holds above that 160. If we do, look at that 161.5, 163.5, 165, 167.5, and that 170 level for AMD. If we do start breaking down, because it is kind of looking a little bearish as well, it's not looking as good as NVIDIA anymore, but look at that 159.5, 158, 157.5, and that 156, that 155 level. Have your patience with this one because we can break up as well, especially at market open. Next one that's been on my list is indeed Apple, but honestly, we haven't really been making a break at all, man. We've been bouncing around that 209 all the way up to like that 212 to 211 level. So I do want to see a clear break of that 211.5. If we can, look at that 212, 212.5, 213.5, and that 215 level finally. I think we just need some good news with the AI overall. But to the downside, if we do start breaking down, one level that I personally watch is going to be that 210.5, 210, 209.5. And then if we break below that 209.5, we're going to be looking a little bit more bearish and look at that 209 next. But with Apple, man, I just want to clear a break. Honestly, yesterday we were moving pretty strong. Like at first we kind of sold off, came back, sold off, and then we finally made a break to the upside a little bit more, making some higher highs. But then we sooner or later sold off, and honestly, kind of bounced around that range and sold off like literally last second. I personally bought a call option right here for like 3 weeks out, but personally, man, I might sell it at market open if it does hit a decent amount. But with that all being said, man, I do buy the dip buys on Apple personally because like if you can definitely buy Apple at around those high 209s to like the low 209s, you can definitely make some money off of it unless some bad news comes out. But Apple is always on my radar. Next one, of course, is going to be IBIT, depending on how Bitcoin moves. Bitcoin haven't really been moving that strong, honestly. We do get up to that 121, but if you can buy it at like the lows of like when Bitcoin hits 117 again, and if we don't fall down even more, you can potentially make some decent money off of IBIT overall. Another one is going to be ETHA, just because Ethereum has been making a clear break to the upside, and this is an ETF that moves with Ethereum. You can buy some call options, put options, whatever you want, but this is one that's on my radar as well. Another one is going to be Open, just because a lot of hype is on it right now, and I'm going to be watching for a clear break above that 220 to that 250. If you could break above that 250, it might have some room to move to that $3 level, maybe even higher, but I'm going to have my patience on this one. We also have JD.com that's been moving pretty decently, and honestly, I'm going to see a clear break above that like 33.5. If we can break above that, we might be able to get to 35 to that $40 level. Of course, I'm watching that Coca-Cola level, man. If we can break above that 69 to that 72, we might be able to we might be able to get some room to move to that 72. I'm going to be watching how it reacts to that $72 level. With that recent deal that just been made, Lucid Group, I'm personally watching Lucid Group as well. We could probably either fill the gap to the downside and or we might start going up even more. So watch that $3.70 level and that $4 level next for Lucid Group overall. Last but not least, I'm personally looking at BBAI. BBAI has been moving pretty decently with the past couple of days. I personally bought some shares down at that like 640, and I personally sold yesterday at that $8 level. Honestly, kind of early, but I think we can maybe make some more break to the upside. I don't hold any more of this, but personally, if we do get back down to that 650 to that 620, I might buy again because it's just been volatile. It's been bouncing off that 620 and coming back up to that $8 level. So honestly, I might watch that 650 next to see if I can get another buy and then just hold it for a little bit. I like to hold these plays for a long time. Another one that I personally watch related to this, like penny stock, is ATAI, and I'm personally waiting for a 260 break, another 260 touch, buy it, and then sell it at like that 280. But honestly, we did make a decent breakout yesterday, hitting that 280. And honestly, man, I think if we can get back down to that 260, buy it, and then just hold it for a long time or like a little bit, maybe you can make a little breakout too. But I think their phase 3 was successful previously, and that's what made us break to that $3 level. But now it's kind of just been holding strong, and I think we're just waiting for another trial to come out for ATAI overall. But with that all being said, man, smash the like button, subscribe if you guys are new. Good luck trading today. Let me know what stocks you guys are watching, how much money you guys made today, and good luck trading today, man. Let's make Friday a great day. Do not take no losses today. Do not be greedy. Do not do anything that could mess up your trades for this week. Secure your profits for this week, and we'll start off with a new week next week. I'll see you guys again. Later on tonight, I'm going to be making another video on XRP. So if you guys are interested, you guys can watch that as well. And we'll be coming out with videos throughout the weekend to help you guys up your trading knowledge. Peace out, guys.